And hello, one and all, and welcome to this special live video review. As you can tell, I am from a different location, usually emanating live from my room, but tonight I went over to my good friend Mike's house, the Club of the Man 1993, and together we watched NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. We're going to be breaking down and giving our full thoughts and opinions, Mike, on tonight's episode. So if you're wondering why there's a change of scenery, that is why that is happening. Recording this from my new $700 laptop, so I have to say the webcam is holding up pretty well. But Mike, It's great to have you back on, and you're here in person, so that makes it great as well for the viewers.
Good to be back. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and we get to do it live.
So we kick off the SummerSlam weekend. I'll ask you first.
Wait, question. What's SummerSlam?
SummerSlam was tonight, right? Because this, honestly,
I don't know if I know what SummerSlam is. I mean, this was the show of the weekend already, huh?
You're calling it. Well,
yeah.
I was going to ask you, what were your thoughts on NXT TakeOver Brooklyn?
Well, I mean, I had high expectations for the show. I thought it was either going to be this or Chicago being the best pay-per-view of the year, which after tonight, I still got to give a little bit of an edge to Chicago, but this was good. I mean, the only little thing that I was a little not as crazy about was probably the main event, but what happened afterwards
we got a nice ending. There's a lot.
That's what made up for it. And that's what I like.
Sure. And if you guys are watching live, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Of course, remember that live chat will be open throughout the entire review. So be sure to comment. Be sure to get your discussions going as we go through this live review. To all three of you watching, thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a fun review. And without further ado, Mike, you ready to dive into NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3?
Let's do it.
First of all, I have to say, from a production standpoint, since you're in video production, how about the lighting, the entrances, everything that went into tonight's show?
Actually putting effort into and trying to make it a little creative because, it
made it feel like a big deal.
Appearance is going to draw more attention,
I'd have to say they did it again. NXT always does that when it comes to their big takeover shows. Makes it feel special. Makes it feel like it's a big deal, and tonight that paid off immensely.
Indeed.
Whether it was the entrance of Aleister Black, the band playing, that was great.
Wow. Oh, yes. That was – that's what they said.
Agent Orange, I believe, was the band.
Yes.
That was badass. That was freaking badass.
Yes, that was.
And Agent Orange, I believe, played the intro, the theme song for NXT. I'll make sure I get all the details right here, but that was really unique. I haven't seen something like that. I really like the way that this show kicked off the air with the band playing the theme song, and splicing it with the wrestlers from NXT.
And the old logo, you say, was seen as well there?
The what?
Did you say the old logo was seen on there as well, too?
Yeah, they showed clips from past NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, because really when I think of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and the band is Code Orange, and I believe the song was Bleeding in the Blur. Just want to make sure I get that info out there. But I'm a fan of metal, so I always appreciate when they bring rock and metal groups in. But the point that I was going to make, kind of lost my train of thought here, but it was about, here it is, about NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. For me, this is like their big WrestleMania event.
I definitely agree. It's a tradition.
Because the Brooklyn one, the one that we went to, that was the first one done in a big arena like the Barclays Center. It was a real challenge for NXT. Would they be able to pack the house? And we were there, Mike. They filled that arena, 15,000 screaming fans. Yeah. And to me, that's why it feels like a big deal. More of a big deal compared to in Orlando. The Brooklyn ones feel like they're WrestleMania of the summer.
Right.
I don't know if you have any thoughts you want to add to that.
Mean, yeah, like you said, like it makes it seem like it's like the biggest event of the year for NXT because it's tradition.
It is.
They're coming back, making their mark in Brooklyn. And heck, the show that had itself years ago made their mark as well. We had the underrated ladder match between Kevin Owens and Finn Balor.
Awesome.
The women's match of the year with Sasha and Bayley.
Liger, Tyler
Breeze and Liger.
That was great.
We had
Joe Corbin.
Isn't that when Cruz made his in-ring debut?
Paulo made his debut that night, and you had the Vaudevillains versus Blake and Murphy, solid NXT Tag Team. Just a really great show. Really great show.
Oh, yes.
And tonight was certainly no exception. So now, switching gears here, we're going to talk about the first match of the evening, Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega in his corner. I really liked this match.
Oh, yes.
I really thought these two told a great story, in the ring. I thought it was a great spot for this match to be the opening match. If I had to pick, this was my prediction for the opening match of the night, and it certainly pulled no punches. What were some of your favorite parts from the match itself? that you can remember?
Trying to remember. I know like it really picked up a lot towards the end. It started off a little bit slow, but towards the end it definitely picked up.
Had a nice pace.
Oh yes. Well, my favorite part was the ending, but remember there was a double knee strike by Almas into the turnbuckle. There was a couple. Like I said, what I really enjoyed about this match though is that it was a mix of like a high flyer and a luchador, like within Almas.
A lot of super kicks.
Right.
Johnny was hitting those.
Oh yes,
those were nice.
Like Almas is like a little bit bigger, but he's agile like Gargano, so their styles mixed together. That's why
they meshed well.
Right,
they made for a well-paced match.
Right, exactly.
And the ending, of course, we got to talk about the ending.
Made sense.
So Gargano was setting him up for the what was he setting him up for? He lawn darted him into the turnbuckle, and I believe he was setting up for his finisher. I think it's like the kick,
the drop kick or whatever.
Anyways, he's setting him up, and Vega throws in a DIY shirt. And right at Johnny, it distracts him. He looks at it, and as he is distracted, almost hits the torpedo drop kick, and he hits the hammerlock DDT for the win. I really like that finish just due to the fact of, the heel won with a nefarious way in a unique way that we haven't seen before. I can't remember the last time we've seen somebody throw a shirt to distract somebody.
Right, yeah.
It was a different finish, and that's what I thought helped play into the match, and I thought it was a really good match overall. Good opening spot. I want to see Johnny get the win here, so it added sympathy to his underdog babyface character, and it kept into the long-term storyline of him and Ciampa. It still kept that, there's a reminder right there that Ciampa will come back.
Right.
But almost looked strong here. One of his better showings on an NXT TakeOver.
Definitely.
Event. Anything else, Mike, you want to add that I haven't talked about with this match before we go to the next one?
Yeah, well, like you said, it definitely keeps the story going with, Johnny, trying to move on from what happened with him and Ciampa. Right. And then, he's looking for competition. So is Almas. But then Almas, took it up a step further and had the interference with the shirt saying, hey, remember this, buddy? Like throwing it right back.
And mentally, it bothered him.
But the thing is also, it made Almas, look like he meant something as well. Because, Almas is beginning to win, but it's like to give him a little bit more of a direction and to give him some momentum going as well.
He get on track and be taken seriously.
Right.
He's been partying and just not taking this whole NXT run.
Exactly.
Storyline-wise, in a serious light. Therefore, you bring in Vega... whatever.
Zelina Vega.
Thank you. I was going to call her Tia Trinidad, but Zelina Vega, and she really has helped Andrade get back on track here, and it was demonstrated in this match. That's what I thought was going to happen. I think I did predict.
You predicted Almas. I predicted Gargano.
So yeah, anything else you want to add before we move on to our NXT Tag Team title match?
Or in fact, I felt it was a win-win for both guys here. Almost got the win, give momentum.
It added the both.
Gargano, it gives momentum as well because it gives Bill as a babyface. They continue to story to keep us invested. Hey, what's going on with Johnny?
I can't wait to see what's next for him. Love that guy.
Oh yes.
Speaking of, I can't wait to see what's next for our new NXT Tag Team champions, the Authors of Pain versus Sanity, and this one was just a flat out brawl. They were brawling throughout the ringside. They were brawling up into the crowd. There was a table set up, and we'll talk about what they did with that table. But these two just went to war with each other. And I have to say, Alexander Wolf, this was the coming out party for him. Yes. I thought he did a tremendous job in this match. This was really a match where I just noted he was taking down both Akam and Razar in this match.
He was.
I was like, holy crap. When he hit that suplex on, I don't know if it was I always get them mixed up. One of the Authors of Pain.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to say who it was, but I tried. But that was really impressive. I mean, to begin with, the match really didn't even begin because both teams began brawling with each other, so that was really nice to see. And then the referee finally got control, and we got into the match. And it kind of started off slow. Towards the end of the match, it kept picking up and picking up and picking up. Tope Suicida by Eric Young. That was really nice. And we got to talk about the end of the match, of course.
Oh.
Nikki Cross, she goes in the ring, looking like she's going to do a dive.
Try to take him all out.
Well, then Paul Ellering got in the ring, and I thought, is she going to take out Paul Ellering?
This lady she's crazy enough to do that.
She's booked like a lunatic more than the lunatic friend.
Right.
But that's another story for another issue. And the referees, as the referee is distracted, Nikki Cross dives off the top rope onto Akam. He catches her. And then Dane hits a running crossbody block on both of them, and they both go through the table that is set up against the barricade. phenomenal spot.
Nikki was like
she was
sandwiched in between them too. That's the thing.
Smushed.
Like Nikki's like
like a
barely
fly.
over 100 pounds, like 5'2" or whatever.
She's not the biggest girl in the fight.
No.
But she will take the fight to you.
Oh, yeah.
And then Alexander Wolf hits the finisher on Razor, shockingly, for the win. And as I mentioned, the numbers game of Sanity came into effect. It really did, with Killian Dane playing his part, taking out Akam, and Razor being the lone man. Your thoughts, Mike, on this match and everything we talked about?
Well, first off, you remember the game match? I think it was supposed to be Wolf and Dane, but then Young switched himself out with Dane.
The Freebird rule, I guess.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I thought he would have wanted at least kept Dane there. But like you said, like this gave Alexander Wolf a chance to shine out even more. Right.
Logically, the fresh man's in there. He's not as tired as Akam and Razor. So
right. You know, when saying you're thinking of Eric Young and Killian Dane up top, because like Dane had a good showing in the Unrated Giant earlier this year. But yeah, again, I said earlier, this was a good build for a heel-on-heel matchup. You know, like
there really are two heel teams. You forget about that.
Right. It's like when we do a face-on-face, you want to be careful you're not doing so much of this, oh, I respect you stuff, and then you continue to go on and, you know, just do this a boring and, oh, good match stuff. But no, like, you know, this heel-on-heel. This was two heel tag teams that they weren't in any alliances. They were beating the crap.
But I felt like the crowd was more behind Sanity.
That too, yeah.
You know, if they had to pick a favorite, they were going towards Sanity.
And then, like I said earlier, too, what made AAOP's title run so successful was that any opponent they had against him, they brought out the best of their opponents as well. And tonight was the same thing as well, but this was nothing new. The AOP was going up against the numbers game like they did with that triple threat back in Orlando.
And they were able to survive.
Right.
Not this time.
And as I'm saying, this is the beginning of Sanity slowly taking over NXT.
Well, they're going to have competition in taking over NXT because we'll get to. Well, speaking of,
yes, that's true.
Immediately after Sanity won the tag team titles, who appeared?
Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
There you go. Red Dragon. They officially formed their long-awaited tandem, their tag team that they're well known for in ROH. Mike and I aren't too familiar with them due to the fact that we don't watch too much Ring of Honor, but we have heard of them. They were introduced on NXT, and I have heard good things about the RE Dragon, that's how you spell it, Red Dragon tag team, and they beat down Sanity, and they laid their stakes to the claim for the NXT Tag Team Championships. It's great. I've heard good things about these guys. I think it'll be the right infusion into the NXT tag. We got a solid tag, like I keep saying.
We do.
Your thoughts, Mike, on Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly? Kyle O'Reilly making their presence known tonight.
Right. I mean, they both made their debuts. I mean, who did Bobby Fish face? I'm trying to remember who he faced a few weeks ago. I know Kyle O'Reilly faced Aleister Black. But you know, they just had their own singles match saying, "Hey, we're here." But tonight was a night that this moment, especially after the tag title match, they made their moment heard. Like, hey, yeah, we are teaming up and we're doing this because people were wanting to. Are they going to keep them paired up or are they going to split them up?
By the way, I believe Corey Graves was on commentary for this match.
Was it this one? Yes, he was. Yeah.
So Corey Graves came out, and for the next match, which we're about to transition into, good old JR was on commentary, so shout out to him. JR, it was great to see you tonight. Hopefully we see you tomorrow for that Fatal 4-Way main event. Just saying that would be smart, Vince. You hear me? Okay?
Yeah.
Vince, you don't care. But I shouldn't do that. I don't want to piss people off. Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. First of all, the entrance for Aleister Black was bad ass. See, Mike's doing it right there. Not as good, but you know, we're working with what we got. We got this old couch.
Sitting on a couch.
But wow, with the band and the candle lights, this had the making of this guy's going to be a big deal.
The smoke as well, too.
Wow. And it's just, I love his entrance song as it is. This only added to it, guys. Amazing. It got you psyched up, and it made me want to see him become a future NXT. He's a future NXT champion. Mark my words. You heard it here first.
Yes.
But big things down the line for the undefeated Aleister Black, who took it to Hideo Itami. They had a good match. Maybe I had my expectations too high. A little disappointed, but I still thought they told a nice story in this match due to the fact of Hideo Itami really just his arrogance getting to him. And how that played, you know, throughout the match, just this new level. I love Hideo Itami like this. This is, it makes sense for him to be getting frustrated.
Oh, definitely.
From his injuries and his start and stop pushes. He never seemed to catch a break from losing to the NXT champion, Bobby Roode. It only makes sense that, you know, this is where we find Hideo Itami now. But overall, I thought it was a good match.
I did too, yes.
We'll talk about the finish here, but and there was also blood in this match. I don't know if Hideo caught.
No. It's acidic liquid.
There was acidic liquid in this match, folks. We have to keep it PG for the great Vince McMahon. But delete.
I just wish you could walk up the bench and just say these little words that get on his that scroll
blood,
the skin, like
belt,
belt,
wrestler,
briefcase.
We don't have we still have a briefcase. We'll see if that gets cashed in tomorrow.
Yes.
But the point is, there was blood in this match, and I thought it added to. I love the look of the blood on Aleister Black. Just the look of like you knew he was going to get.
Remember the stare down between him and Tommy how he got him, and then Black shirt. It's like
just the way that they were able to, with the quick pace. Like they're both, the similar hard hitting, strong style per se with their kicks. And they're spinning back fists, like just the way they were able to move in conjunction and get out of the way of one another. Hope I'm explaining this well. I thought it added to the match itself. But the end of the match, I like how Tommy tried to get him up for the GTS, but Black was able to get out of it. And this is where Tommy's arrogance came into effect. He was taunting Aleister Black. You saw him. He was pandering to the crowd, saying, "Give me the respect that I want."
And posed like him too in the ring too.
He mocked him by posing. Thank you for bringing that up. And as a Tommy's, taking his eye off the ball, Aleister hits him. I like it. He can hit this out of nowhere. Now, Black Mass. That's a great. I love that name. Black Mass for the win. This match is over. What did you think of this match?
Yeah, again, like I said, I felt maybe it just needed a little bit more time in there. I feel like they needed just one more thing just to add a little bit more to this match. But I mean, again, it was still a good match. It definitely is establishing Hideo Itami more as a heel as he's transitioned to this character, which, again, it makes perfect sense, which, thank goodness, WWE Creative actually, well, I'm not saying WWE Creative, Triple H thinks realistically about how this man actually should refer to this character because he's frustrated, he needs something fresh to do, and then, it even brings out the
that's just my friend being a dick.
It brings out the frustrations in him as well. But yeah, and go up against like a newcomer in Aleister Black as well. And like we said earlier, also with Gargano and Almas, their styles mixed in very well together.
Exactly. And to my friend Sam, who's actually watching me live, thanks for watching. I know what you're saying. I know WWE ain't great, but NXT, give it a chance. Watch this show tonight. It's a really good show. It'll probably be better than the 4-hour snooze fest that is SummerSlam. So
what's SummerSlam? Wait. What?
This was SummerSlam. Sam,
what
if
about?
You're wondering, this was SummerSlam.
You sure you don't want to enjoy the 5.5-hour show that's rumored for tomorrow?
We got a 2-hour pre-show and then a 4-hour main card. Oh, you just gotta love it.
Hopefully not a 5.5-hour main card.
More, and more. And then less and less people watch. So I just find that funny. But Mike, anything else that you want to add to Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami before we move on to what I believe is my pick for match of the night?
Other than the fact that we're seeing a future NXT champion we saw tonight. And also, like I said to you earlier, how would you like to see a feud between Aleister Black and Eric Young?
That would be interesting. That certainly would.
Dark characters going in at it.
Wow.
On NXT.
Yeah.
It'd be like a better version of the Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor feud we're getting right now.
It really would. And NXT would do it right. And by the way, in relation to the next match, which had somebody going in as undefeated, Asuka, over 500-plus days as champion, Aleister Black is still undefeated. So, Road Dogg, I know you don't watch this video, but I just want to say, wins and losses do matter. Thank you, Mike. So if you ever want to respond to my tweet, which I did tweet to you, take me up on it. I just brought up a fair point. Wins and losses do matter because Asuka's 500-plus days as champion. And when she loses, it will actually mean something. The same with Aleister Black. Bobby Roode went on a long winning streak. So I'm waiting for your reply. No disrespect, but just don't block me. I just want to have a conversation, just want to help. But we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, getting back to Asuka versus Ember Moon. Wow, what a match this was. I honestly thought, I know why the main evented, just due to the way that it ended, but in terms of the match that should have gone on last, I have to say I think it would have been this one.
Definitely.
And it would have probably helped Roode and McIntyre because it just felt like the crowd wasn't as into it just to being taken out of it from how good this was the Oscar versus Ember Moon match that I was hoping to see in Orlando. Yeah, just making sure I get it right. TakeOver Orlando. But they went to war with each other. I love the way that they told the story of Ember Moon's surgically repaired shoulder and how Asuka targeted that throughout the entire match. But these two are really laying it into each other. What was it? Asuka, she took Ember Moon to the outside. And
the suplex rise onto the steel.
Yeah,
that was deadly.
Onto the steel. That was just she really. I like how she really focused on targeting that injured shoulder, and I like when they play logical psychology into the match, targeting a body part, working over that. She really did throughout the entire match.
She did
when she was trying to get in the Asuka lock, and but the highlight of the match for me was when Ember Moon went up to the top rope, and this is why it matters when you don't have people kick out of your finisher 10 million times. When Asuka hit, or
Jinder Mahal.
Attitude adjustment, SmackDown this past week.
Jinder Mahal.
Compare this to that. This meant something because when Ember Moon hit the Eclipse on Asuka kicked out. Wow. What I thought for sure, 1, 2, 3, we are going to have a new NXT Women's Champion, folks, but Mike, that was a big spot. That really, really was.
Yes. Wow.
And then just checking the live chat there. Thanks for participating, guys. Where do we go from here? Like I said, Asuka kicked out, and Asuka once again grabbed the referee as a shield, so playing up the fact of what happened last time in TakeOver Orlando. Moon dove over the referee, hit a crossbody block on Asuka. Asuka rolled Moon over into a pin.
The tights.
And Asuka had the handful of tights. I thought, oh, she's going to win right there with the handful of tights. But no. Referee saw it, so he said, no, that was a 2 count. You had the tights. And Moon kicked Asuka in the head with a super kick. Asuka kicks out. I'm like, how is that not it there? I thought that was going to be it. Great near falls toward the end. Moon tries to grab Asuka, but Asuka locks in a cross arm breaker. Moon tries to fight. She tries to fight, but no, she has to tap out. And Asuka remains your reigning, defending, undisputed NXT Women's Champion
of the world.
Mike, I've talked enough. What are your thoughts on Asuka versus Ember Moon?
My new women's match of the year right now. I am penciling in and saving this in for our for our year in review video at the end of the year, which that's gonna be fun as usual. But yes, what can I say? This was the match that we wanted to see out of Asuka and Ember. I am surprised. I really thought tonight was the night that Ember was going to win. But at the same time, you think about it, if they're really trying to make this undefeated streak for Asuka that important, they can't make it obvious that one person can just come in and just take the belt off of her. Even with Asuka at her best, it's building up saying that you're really going to have to dig down deep and whoever's going to take this belt off Asuka. And like you can't just have somebody else start a feud with her and then win it. Like if you really make it important, like if they do a third match between Asuka and Ember, they could like stack the odds. I don't know.
The way this was done,
right.
And the way Ember was left in the ring, kind of,
right, yeah.
It just felt like the end.
Right, but still, either way, if they would have continued a third match, it's like they're really stacking the odds up against her, and it does give that doubt, like, it's not going to make it so obvious that someone's going to be gripping this title off her. That's what I'm saying, how, like, this, it makes this streak feel more important because it's not going to be like someone just comes in and like, oh, this person's going to be the one to defeat Asuka, but then they just take the belt right off her. It's going to lead the doubt and like, can this person really defeat her even without Asuka, trying to cheat her way out of it like she did at Orlando,
Absolutely. So we will see who's next to challenge Asuka.
Yes.
Now, speaking of next and what is last, TN Couponer, thanks for responding. He said Asuka versus Ember Moon in a last woman standing match.
I
like it.
Nikki and
wow,
and Asuka.
They would have a phenomenal last woman standing.
Yes.
I love that match, but they could have an even better match.
That's yes, I agree.
Wow, I'd like to see that. So yes. NXT Championship match. It was on the line. The title was on the line. Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre. Come on, man. 3MB, baby. Anyway, there were 3MB chants tonight. So, exactly. Delete. But
hey, now 2 out of 3 of them are champion.
Your thoughts on this match? Because I know we kind of missed part of it. I don't know. I thought it was okay. Picked up towards the end, but I just felt like it was hurt placement-wise from the crowd just being I mean, you could tell there was a noticeable difference from the crowd pre this match and then when the match was actually happening. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm really surprised also. We saw no Roderick Strong tonight.
Roddy.
I thought he was going to get out and try to come out and try to get his revenge on at least Bobby. But yeah, it again, like, this match, I'm not saying I had like really low expectations.
It wasn't bad.
But it's like I felt like
it was okay.
The story of this I felt like was a little more focused on Roderick Strong, so it made it a little bit weird. But it does make like, you know, a good like comeback story for Drew McIntyre since he's trying to, you know, start
prove himself again
in WWE, which I felt he did tonight, and also the psychology of I feel like what was also really a big factor in this is I think Bobby Roode was realizing, you know, Drew McIntyre was more of a threat than he thought with his height, because we talked about before this match started, we didn't realize how big Drew McIntyre was.
He's got Bobby by a couple inches.
Yeah, 6'5", 254 against 6 foot 235. But again, like, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't that great of a match. It wasn't the greatest match I've seen for a takeover, but we did make up for it afterwards.
And we'll talk about what happens afterwards, but just a couple spots here from the match. McIntyre hits a Claymore early on. Roode is able to roll out to the mat. McIntyre, what did he do over the top? He hit a, was that a crap? I can't remember what it's called.
It's a crap?
No. When he went over the top rope and landed on Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
Was that Tope Suicida?
Might have been, yeah. They both just laid out like they were
But
dead.
for a big guy like Drew McIntyre to do something like that, I thought he actually missed Bobby Roode a little bit. I was like, oh, shit. I was worried he might hurt his arm or something. But, yeah, towards the end of the match, just continuing on here with my results page, when Bobby Roode hit the glorious DDT, Drew McIntyre kicked out. And Bobby Roode, how many he hit him with? He hit him with another one.
The second one, and he set up for the third one.
When he went for the third one, that's where McIntyre countered, hit him with a headbutt, hit another Claymore, and instead of rolling out this time, he was able to pin Bobby Roode. Your new NXT champion is Drew McIntyre. I was somewhat surprised, although in my predictions I said don't be too surprised. If Drew McIntyre wins the title, and now that he has, that frees Bobby Roode to go to SmackDown Live to fill the void of when Cena will be traded or he'll be on Raw this Monday.
Yes.
So you're going to have to fill that void somehow. And I think they'll fill that void with Bobby Roode going to SmackDown Live.
Adding star power.
Yes. And he is long overdue going to the main roster. But Drew McIntyre, new NXT champion. I'm happy for him. I really am.
Definitely, me too.
Despite the match not being great, it was okay, but it was a nice win for him. And what we had afterwards.
Oh.
Red Dragon comes down. Well, first of all, I love how they fake tease going off the air once again. That was nice. I like that. Great touch by NXT. And out of nowhere, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, baby! Got to do that. He makes his long-awaited, long-rumored. We've been waiting. How long have we been waiting for him to debut? A long, long time. You heard it. Adam Cole debuted in NXT tonight, beat down the NXT champion, held up the NXT championship. Drew McIntyre versus Adam Cole with a heel stable with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly as backup.
Take my money right now.
Maybe have Roderick Strong lead the good fight as well, going after them.
Possibly, yes.
Man, there's a lot of different ways that this can go. And that's what I like about this ending. It left me wanting more, not less. I don't want to steal the thunder here, but what were your thoughts on the ending and the beatdown and what happened? It was just...
Again, it really made up for it because, again, like you said before, the women should have made it vented this match-wise.
Yeah, but
the way this ended,
it ended
and
well.
like we said earlier, you know, I said could Sanity be taking over NXT, but now we're saying ROH. They took over NXT
They really
tonight.
did. They are. They're
with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly coming out, taking out. They took out both AOP and Sanity.
They did.
It's like a 6-on-2 pretty much. They took.
They didn't care,
right? Then they come out there. They just
in the main event.
They just appeared like Sadlers pretty much
out of the crowd.
And then out came Adam Cole, and we went nuts. It was unreal.
Somebody said Strong could join them.
Roderick Strong
He
joining
was
them.
Mr. ROH. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. No.
He was really, for so long, he was the guy in that company.
That would be interesting.
Mr. Ring of Honor.
Wonder if him and Bobby are going to have any unfinished business if Bobby does move up to SmackDown.
We'll see. I just like that there's a number of different ways that NXT can go. And keep in mind, Sam, there's a difference between watching WWE and NXT. I know it's under the same umbrella.
Watch NXT.
NXT
please.
is 10 times better than the crap that we get on Monday and Tuesday and tomorrow.
Vince doesn't even watch NXT.
Yeah, Vince has nothing to do with it. Even though he's paying the bills, trust me, he has nothing to do with this product. Or Kevin Dunn, Mike's favorite video production guy. I love taking the camera up and down, and filming the crowd. I love you, Vince. But thanks for showing up, Kevin Dunn. But anyway, the most important part of this review, grade time. It's time to give our grades. So my grade for this show, I was going back and forth. I'm going with the grade of an A-. A- for NXT TakeOver.
That's what I got to go with as well. A-.
2 A-, really great show.
Very solid. My poll, I got 11 votes. 91% said A, 9% said B.
That's pretty good.
Nobody else said C or D, which is good because that'd be ridiculous.
Thank you to the 26 of you that voted. 92% thumbs up, 8% thumbs down. That was really surprising. What was that? Anyway, so anything else you want to add before we go off the air here?
Other than that, we saw a very unbelievable show tonight. Lived with expectations. Again, there was the Black and the Tommy match was not as good as I hoped for, but it was still great.
It was good.
Main event was all right, but
that was really the only.
That ending though made up for it.
Yeah.
That's
all in all,
made up for it. It woke us up.
So, by the way, speaking of woken up, you notice in this video we still have a good amount of energy. I wonder what we'll be like tomorrow for the SummerSlam review. We'll be falling
That main
asleep.
event's really gonna have to
we'll be sleeping.
blow us out of the water, which I think it could, but
5.5 hours.
It seems a lot confusing when WWE has this habit of just going all out at the beginning, and then it just once that you hit the peak,
The crowd will die.
it goes.
The crowd will die a death.
5.5 hour main show tomorrow, guys. You ready?
Well, Vince, once again, you've done it all. But we'll see. Samoa Joe, TN Couponer, said he's rooting for Joe to win.
Joe, this is Joe's match to win.
Samoa Joe, man. Hope so. But Sam's watching. Oh, God. He does not watch Raw or any of it anymore. He's watching SummerSlam tomorrow. I hope for your sake it's good. But we're warning you. You might want to abandon ship. And if it's not good, you know what you can do? Watch a replay of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. I'm serious. Put that on instead. You'll get more enjoyment out of this show probably than SummerSlam.
Oh, yes.
But anyway.
Wait, again, what's SummerSlam again?
This actually was SummerSlam. So, Mike, this was a great... Oh, God. And we got one more question here before we go off the air. Do you think WrestleMania will ever be a 2-night event? I think that would be too much.
It would be, yeah.
Keep it one night and just limit how long it should be.
With how much they're pushing the time limit, before you know it, WrestleMania could turn into a whole week.
I don't want that.
I don't want my whole life being WrestleMania.
It's enough.
No, please.
It's enough. One night is plenty. But
we'll cancel Raw. We'll do WrestleMania all the time.
Oh, they already do that. They do the rematches the day of, the day after. So what's the point? Anyway, yeah. All in all, Mike, I'd say this was a really good review. I like doing the different format.
Definitely.
Maybe, depending on my schedule, I'll try. We could do this more often down the line.
Yes.
We'll have to see. But I want to say thanks for coming on the channel.
Definitely. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for having me over.
Yep.
And thank you all for watching. You, brother, watching that live stream. And you can always, of course, get in your plug for your channel before we go off the air here.
Sure thing. As always, you guys can follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93 and right here on YouTube. Subscribe to me as the Club of the Man 1993. I do wrestling videos, any other odds and ends here and there. Just fun stuff. So check me out, please. And also subscribe to Dan as well, as he is always rocking it up on here.
Absolutely. Thank you for the plug.
Sure.
And like I said, Mike said, check me out here. Check out his channel. Check out my channel, youtube.com/DanielGuyza412 for all my latest thoughts. Check me out on Twitter at DanielGuyza412 as well. So that is it. Mike, thanks once again for coming on.
Sure thing.
Everybody, thank you for watching. And we will be back up here for our SummerSlam live review videos. So
What's
until
SummerSlam?
That was tonight. So until then, guys, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your evening.
Peace,
See ya.
guys.